Hello. I don't know if this is going to be upside down. I hope not. Right. Anyway, you don't need to worry yourselves because I will edit it if needs be and turn it the right way around. So I'm going to use lots of things today. First, I want to thank Crafting Together with All Brands for allowing me to come and be part of the YouTube hop. So thank you, that's fab. And I thought what I would do is I thought I would make a journal page. So I'm using lots of Elizabeth Craft Designs goodies, and I'll be popping a link and a code in my description for if you want 10% off any of these things, because obviously it's my affiliation code, but it's also a nice way to thank anybody who's watching this and wants to create this themselves with a little bit of a discount. So I'm doing that. I can leave a link for, I'm using some of the what are they called? Maramis, is it? Yes, Maramis, and I'm using the a couple of mushrooms, and I'm also using the a little chap from the industrial collage book as well. So I'm using those two, so I'll pop a link for those as well. So what we're going to do, I've got so many bits and so many things that I want to show you, and I'm just going to try my very hardest to fit as much as I can into an hour. Really, that's my plan. So I've started by cutting my page with David's coffee dye papers. He's got some absolutely glorious papers that are just, they're such a wonderful, well, they're wonderful in their own right. You don't really need to do anything to it, but of course I'm going to. They're also such good quality. They do take quite a bit of everything I chuck at it, really, which really does impress me, because not all printed papers will behave like that. So I've got that. I've also, this edge isn't part of the page die because I cut this with a page die. This edge is from this collection, which is called Border Flower, and it's 2114, and it's compatible with this flower here. And that's why I've done it, because I wanted to put that flower on the end there, like this, because that's quite nice. So I thought to start off with, what I will show you is, if you are not confident or you don't know how to stamp onto die cuts, I thought I'd show you that quickly, because I managed to get a new stamp press, which is what I'll be using to do it. And I got my stamp press from Hazel Eaton. I think she's Dragons Paper Crafts, and this is it's a hobby gross one that I'm trying out and seeing what I think. So far I've managed to throw a few things at it and give it a bit of abuse, and it hasn't minded, so we're doing okay. So the first thing you do is you want to die cut your piece. So die cut first. I mean, everybody will have their own way of doing this, and some people might prefer to stamp first, but this is my way. So die cut your image, and then we'll pop that there a minute, and we take the waste from the die cut that has the shape in it, and we adhere that with our magnets to the stamping platform. Then I take my stamp, so I've got my stamp, and I fit this into that space, and it's not too difficult because you can feel the edges of your stamp, so you can feel where that's going to fit in. So then I can pick up my stamp on my platform, there we go, and I'll pop the die cut image back in there. So I know now that my positioning is going to be good. So I'm just using some VersaFine Clair. Make sure I'm nicely inked up, and then bring that down, and because I've put the stamp in that space, I know that that's going to be nicely lined up. So that's how I stamp on, you know, the stamp die cut images. And I hope that's helpful to somebody. I mean, I'm probably teaching my grandma how to suck eggs, but there we go. So it's really nicely stamped out. Right, let me move that out of the way, because that was one of the things that I really wanted to share for those people who don't feel confident about that, because, you know, it's not everybody does, do they? Right, let's pop that stamping platform out of the way, and I'll keep you updated on that platform and how it goes and what I think. But like I said, so far so good, and it's a fairly inexpensive platform, so I'm quite happy about that. Sorry, I'm just having a little bit of coffee. So this is my page, and I know that I'm going to have this, get it the right way around, Rachel. I'm going to have this on this side, and I've also got some bits that I want to put on the other side. I'm just looking for my bone folder, which seems to be on the missing. I'll use this one. So I'm just going to fold this page. I'm using my bone folder because that's what I like to do. So yeah, I want this on this side, and then I've got a couple of pieces that I want to put on this side. I'm going to jazz these up and distress them and do some things with them, but I like to have an idea of roughly where everything is going to go. This, oh, isn't this beautiful? This is David's last collection, Hinged to the Past, and this is the lace dye from that, and it's just so pretty. And I can't believe every time I die cut it, it just comes out a dream. You know, you have to give the dye a little tap, but it comes out a dream. And this is another piece from Hinged to the Past as well, which I've already stamped and die cut and attacked. So let's have a look. So I want to do that, and I've got some mushrooms, more mushrooms from that little book. Right, that I can cut off when I've put it in. Now I accidentally ripped this one when I was getting it out, but I'm not too bothered about that because I think once it's all stuck down it'll be fine. Right, I like that. And then this little chap who's out of the industrial book. I want to go there, but I need to make sure he isn't on the, I don't want him to be on the crease. So he needs to go about there. And then I've got this, which is another little piece from the Hinge to the Past, and it's actually got like it's supposed to be like a magnifying glass, but I'm going to cut his hand a little bit and he's going to have that. And I don't know if I might put a little bit of muslin on there. I haven't quite decided yet. And then I've got these cogs, which these are, let me show you. These are Devid's cogs, and they're rather fabulous. And I've cut these with some, it's called Media Artists card, which lovely Hazel sent me to try. And so I'm trying it. So I've got some cogs, which we'll make those all rusty in a bit. And they're going to kind of be part of this, part of what's going on here. And I've got some flowers that I'm going to make as well. So they'll all go there. And some leaves, that's going to work. And then I've got this hinge that I want to incorporate somewhere in amongst this. It might even go there. And I made these little, there is a stamp and a die for these, and all I do is I put my heating embossing powder, went the long way around on that one, didn't I? I put my embossing powder on first and heat it, and then I stamp into it, and that's how I make my little screw heads. So that's the rough gist of what's going to happen. So I'm going to show you how I make my cogs rusty, and I'm going to show you how I make my flowers, and then we're going to distress this a little bit and stick it all together. So that's the plan. Fingers crossed. So let's see. Right, I'm going to leave that lace as is, so that can go over there. Now, do I want to do anything to this background? I think I do, because the theme for this month's YouTube Hop is pink and green. So I do want to, you know, obviously my flowers will be a good way of incorporating that, but I do want to do some other bits. Let me have a look. Right, I've got these stencils, which I love. They are, you're going to get sick of me saying they're Devid's, but they are Devid's, and they're fantastic. These are other, we've got splotches, and we've got crackles, and we've got numbers, and we've got crosses, and they're brilliant. I really, you know, I do quite abuse stencils, and whatever these ones are made out of, they don't seem to mind being too badly treated. Right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a little bit of sponge, and I just buy a pack of cheap kitchen sponges, and I chop them up, and that kind of works for me. It's not as nice as the fancy ones you can get, of course, but it does do the job, and well, that's what we need it to do, isn't it? So let me get some, I'm going to use a little bit of this is just, it's just gesso, it's just Liquitex Bake 6 gesso, and I'm going to use a little bit, oh, get in there, a little bit of that instead of paint. So there's no, I'm not using it as a gesso, I'm using it because it'll be a nice white coverage, but also because it has sort of slightly a slightly different finish, it'll add, it'll add just a very subtle different texture as well. So I'm going to just add some of these. I thought I was all prepared, but I'd forgotten that I was going to do my background. I was so excited about making the flowers because I love making flowers. I can't resist it. Right, where am I at with that? I quite like that. Let's have, oh yes, I do quite like that. Now over here, there's quite a lot going on, but I think it will, you know, even though we won't see much of it, I like to know it's there. And I know that might seem potty, but I promise you, if we didn't do it, it would look different. There we go. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. So that's that. I quite like that. And I'm also going to put some of these numbers on here because we like a bit of a number. So, and the nice thing with these is they're all in different directions, so we can get away with having the stencil any way that we want it, really. That's that. That's fab, I like that. We go in. Yes, that's, I think that's enough with the gesso now. I'm just wiping up a little bit on the side there. I'm going to give it a little, just giving it a little dry. It won't need much of a dry, but I will dry it nonetheless. There we go, because I'm going to use some stamps as well now, so I want it all to work together. So where's my kitchen roll? Oh, it's miles away. Oh well. Right, what I'm going to do now is get my stamps. Oh, I love these ones. Guess whose they are? They're David's again. You know, I mean, in fairness, I am on his design team as well, so it's a good job I do like his stuff, isn't it, really? In fairness to me. And how crazy I sound with my fangirling on David. Right, let's put a little bit, we're going to start building up some colour, and I've got some distress ink pads here that I was going to use for the flowers, but I think I'm going to use them for this background too. This one is here actually for the rusty cogs, so you'll see that come into play in a minute. But let's just add some stamping to this now, and it's all going to sort of slowly come together, and all the layers will just, you know, they'll just work. So there, like that. And I think I want one more with this. These stamps are such clever designs. They're so simple, and yet they just add so much. So that's that one done. And I also want to add let me get a different one to add, right? And I want a different colour. I'm going to use Rusty Hinge. Oh, that's nice. There we go. And I only want sort of partial stamping with this. I don't want it to be too bold. There we go. I like that. And I'm going to do the same. Let me get that out of the way. I need to go and get my cloth or kitchen roll in a minute, because otherwise I'm going to have a bit of trouble. There we go. So again, just there, and again, wipe that off, just because I don't want to be checking my pages into it here, there and everywhere. There we go. So some partial stamping, and it's just adding a little bit more to the page that doesn't, you know, the page doesn't really need anything added to it, but it doesn't stop me. And let's put that one to one side, and I want to use this one, which is, this is Script from the Past, this one, and I'm just going to use the script bit. There we go. And let me get, this is a bit of walnut stain, and I'm not even putting it on a block because I just want to add fragments of script. I'm not, you know, I'm not too fussed about getting a whole image on here. There, I think I'm happy with that. Right, let me do that. Let me grab my kitchen roll, which is right away under my desk. Yay, got it. That's better. We are going to be able to wipe up after ourselves, which is going to make me very happy, because things are going to get a little bit messy. Right, so that's the page so far. That's my background. Where are we at? Oh, we're good. We're only about 25 minutes through, so we're good. So I'm putting that page to one side. Excuse me sniffing. And then I'm going to take these cogs. Let's rusty up these cogs. So there's 1, 2, 3, and I'm sure there's some little ones as well. Yes, there are. Is there another one? Am I dreaming? No, there it is. So I've got some cogs there, and now I'm going to try and sort of give them the look of rust. So the first thing I want to do is I want to start getting some colour on them. And if you like rusty things and you're interested in rusty things, there's lots of videos out there of how best to go about it. And to be honest, I use different methods for different things. For some things it's all about embossing powders, for other things it's all about acrylic paint, and for some things it's about rusting powder. You know, there's lots of different ways of doing it. So I've put some salvaged patina oxide ink down there, and I'm just popping these in there. I don't want full coverage. I'm just looking for, you know, just to get little bits of salvage patina on them. That's all I want. So now I know that that David has recently done a rust video that was very good, and so has Annette. Annette's done a really good one too. So I'm going to dry these. I want this layer dry. It won't take long. And again, this is using that media artist card from Hazel Eaton. So I'm really interested to see how it behaves, because this is the first time I've used it. So it's very interesting, because you never know how a new cardstock is going to behave itself, do you? Right, let me have a little look, because there's a couple of little bits that I want to get out there. And let's get this one as well. Okay, good. So the next colour I think I'm going to go for is, I'm going to go for some of the frayed burlap. So I'm just doing the same thing again. I'm putting the colour on my mat and I'm giving it a spritz, and then I'm putting my cogs in it. There we go. I'm just getting some colour. I don't want full coverage at all at any point with this. I'm looking for a bit of this and a bit of that. Because that's kind of how you get a good rusty look, isn't it? It's never all one tone. So I'm going to get a bit more on that one, because there's more here to have. There we go. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could use a little bit of texture paste on these and really go crazy, or pent arts. If you've seen my videos before, you might have seen me using the pent art rust kits with the paints and the I don't know what you call the stuff. It's like, you know, it's slightly textured and you can add it to the paint, and it just sort of gives that lumpy bumpy look. But I'm not going to do that today with these. I'm going to go fairly smooth with these. I'm going to use a stamp that'll add some texture, which I saw Annette using, and I thought, gosh, that's a good idea. So I shall definitely be doing that. Right, and the next thing I want to add, I'm going to get some brushed corduroy going on. And then I think, and this one's just a distress, it's not a an oxide. So I'm mixing it up a bit with my oxides and distress inks. And that again gives you quite a texturized effect, because you have the different layers then. I'm going to get a little bit more on there. So we'll try these in a bit. Now, if you don't like getting messy fingers, you could always wear a pair of gloves or use tweezers or some such to do this. I'm quite a messy crafter. I quite like a bit of mess. Right, let's give those another little dry off. There we go. And I really like how the frayed burlap kind of gives you all kinds of shades in it. It's a really clever colour. Right, and I'm going to go for one more go of the salvaged patina. Just one more little dip in that. Okay, there we go. Let's go for one more little dip. Dippity dippity do. Come back. No running away, thank you. Just trying to make sure I get all of the bits. We're getting a bit of a greeny colour here, where the colours are mixing a bit, but I'm not worried about it. There we go. Let's give that a wipe. Try and make sure we get a good wipe this time, so we don't get too much colour mix. So they've had a few dips now. Righty-ho, so they're fairly dry now, that's good. And I'm gonna finally get the rusty hinge, and you could do it if you've got sprays and not the inks, you could do it with sprays. There's nothing to say that you have to use the inks. There we go. And there we go. And I'll go back over with my blender if there's anywhere that's looking like it's really missing out. Oh, it's such a shame. If I was more prepared, I would have a piece of paper that I was dipping in that. And the other ones that I've wiped up, but as I've said before, if you keep your tissue that you use, there's lots you can do with the tissue, so it's not a complete waste. Right, leave that dry. Some really interesting colours coming through from these now, which is nice. And then the next thing I'm going to do, this is the tip that I got from Annette the other week. Let me find her stamps. Here we go. So these, yes, Annette Green, just in case you were wondering, and this collection called Playful Textures just works brilliantly when you're trying to create a sort of, you know, a different look. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to use the walnut ink, and I'm going to stamp on these cogs, and it will add some texture and interest. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. It's so clever. I really, really, really appreciate it a lot. Yeah, this is definitely a little new thing to add to my arsenal of things I like doing to make things fusty. So it just works brilliantly. So I'm going to get this one down. Well, I can report to Hazel that the Artist Media card takes the inks really, really nicely, and the stamping too. I got two there. I didn't put that very sensibly. There we are. It's just these, yeah, playful textures. They are awesome. I'm so pleased to have them. Right, let me clean up a bit, and then I'm going to just take my blender, put those to one side, and I'm going to take my blending tool, and I'm just going to give these a little bit around the edge, and I'm coming up into those little coggy bits there as well. Coggy bits, is that a word? I don't know, but look at that. I mean, it's just fab. I mean, I was thinking, oh, shall I do some embossing on them, or shall I add some waxes? But I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think I need to. I think they just look really nice how they are. So and that the texture stamp just finishes that off. Before I'd done the texture stamp, I was thinking, oh, we'll get some wax on these, but I really don't think it needs it. I think they look great. So there we go. Perfect. I'm really happy with those. So look at my messy fingers. We have another slurp of my coffee, and we'll make the flowers, and then we can start putting everything together. And that's not very organised of me, is it? I was thinking, oh, I'll be really on this. All right, what I've done is I use the pink frog. It's like paper, but not. Well, it is paper, but it's super smooth paper. And I really like using that for these flowers because we don't have, I can't seem to get the recommended paper. So the pink frog, I can't remember what GSM it is. It's something like 120, maybe not even that. And so I fold it in half and die cut all the bits that I need. So I'm just fighting with them now to get them apart. I have one of those. I don't know if I'm going to use all of these, but it doesn't hurt to have them ready to go, does it? There we go, nearly done. So the first thing I do with my flowers is I add colour to the petals. So let me get I'm going to use my little blender Whizzy McGizzy. I'll put a link to this on my, in my description. I'll put a link so that you can see. So given that the colours that we need to use are pink and green, I'm going to get my pink one and I'm going to get my orange one, and I've got a couple of green ones there, so we're sorted. So I'm just going to use the distress inks to do this. Let's see, I've got, this is Kitsch Flamingo and Carved Pumpkin. I'm going to use on this one. So I'm just adding the colour, not getting too hung up on it. There we go. A little bit of orange there in the centre, because why wouldn't you? Quite frankly. So we'll do a few of those. There we are. Haven't used Kitsch Flamingo for ages. I really like it as well. I don't know why I haven't, but I've been doing the dreaded craft room tidying, so I'm finding things that have been in the ether for a while. I'm being absolutely ruthless as well, because I want some space. I'm really done with not having space, so I have been really ruthless. Big clear out, and I'm not quite finished because I've been doing some secret stuff that you will see soon, and so I've been doing that at the same time as tidying and sorting out my room, which in hindsight or retrospect or however you want to put it, was a really silly idea. But you know, I started, so once I'd started I had to finish, didn't I? So I still haven't finished, and basically I've been sitting in a pile of craftiness, we will say, while trying to do my secret stuff. So it's been quite interesting. So you'll see some of the secret stuff actually today, if you're watching this on Monday, you will see some of the secret stuff, because Erica has got a stunning, like super stunning. If I was putting this out tomorrow, I probably would have used them, because they're just stunning stamps that she's done. It's another portrait collection, and they are something special. They are really lovely. Just give that a little wipe to make life a little bit easier, and I'm just going to change colours a minute to a slightly different combo. I'm going to go with picked raspberry and fossilized amber. Now, if you're using your oxide inks to colour flowers, it does change it slightly in, you know, you do want to be a little bit careful if you like to dampen them before shaping them and things. I can't tell if that's a 2 or a 1. Oh well. Yeah, so obviously the oxide reacts to water, so you need to be a little bit mindful of that. That could be a really cool look as well. That effect can, you know, enhance your flowers. The other thing you might want to be considering is that you can use, what's it called? Let me get it and then I can tell you what it's called. You can kind of seal your when you use oxides and things with distress glaze, it's a bit like it's a sort of waxy, sealery type thing. And a little goes a long way. But yeah, if you wanted to not take any risks with ending up in a bit of a pickle with your oxide inks on anything, you know, it could be on anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be on the flowers. But if you're trying to be mindful of not losing the vibrancy or not getting any water effects or all of the above, put some distress glaze on. You don't need much, and it will just, it kind of seals whatever you put in there. Yeah, it's really good to put on things that you don't want to get covered in other things, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Okay, so we'll do, I'm just doing a few of these because I don't know how many I'm going to want to use. So if I've got a few to hand, then I'm kind of covered, aren't I? One more of these, and then I'll do the leaves. Oh, I don't know if I want dinky tiny ones too. Oh well, let's go with this and we'll see. We'll go with this and we'll see. No pressure. Okay. This picked raspberry is not very juicy. I think it might need re-inking, but never mind. Okay, let's get rid of those ones. And let's have a little clean up. How are we doing for time? Oh, this is going to be over an hour, I'm afraid. I will try not to be too much over the hour, because I think an hour is a nice amount of time for a video or a live or whatever you're watching. I think, you know, I think more than that is a big ask for people, because we all have busy lives. Right, so I'm using Twisted Citron, and there we go. I'm just doing the top in Twisted Citron, and then where's my other green one gone? Where have I put it? Oh no, there it is. Peeled paint, Twisted Citron, and then some peeled paint, so we've got a little bit of variety going on. I was a little bit heavy-handed there, but I think it'll be okay. I'm not desperately upset about it. And there's some nice embossing on these leaves and flowers, so you can always, you know, if you've got a little bit of time to mess about, you can always go over with a slightly darker distressing, like, you know, well, we might have to do a little bit of that actually with the walnut stain, and it just will sit in those little embossed areas, which is a really nice look. There we go. Oopsie. There. And the darker one. I do like these inks. And one more. Just you know, I'm doing one with, just so I know that if I want more, I've got more, and I haven't got to faff about. So there we go, done those. Let's get those lids on, and now I need my flower centers. Right, let's see, how many flowers have I got here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get some flower centers for these. These are again with the dies, and they are so effective. Yeah, I'm gonna do those ones, and ooh, or do I want to do? I don't want to do the next size up now. I'll do little ones. And that's a little bit little, isn't it? But do I want to go bigger? No, I don't. I just want to do this now. So now these are they're doubled up. So possibly when I shape them, we'll see they'll come apart. So, but I'm not going to fiddle and faff with them right now. So I've just done those with the fossilized amber, and then I'm taking my walnut stain and I'm just going around the edge a bit like that, and that I like that as a middle. I tend to do them yellow or orange or a bit of both, and that works for me. But obviously you can do them any way you like. Right, there we go. Now, because I want this all to tie in, my fingers are so messy. Because I want this all to tie in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint these flowers. I'm going to paint them with the same inks that I've got these flowers with. So I'm going to do that now so that this can then dry while we're shaping the main flowers. So I've got some, that's picked raspberry, and I've got some of my carved pumpkin, and let's put the fossilized amber there. So I've got my inks, I've got some water, I need a brush. Let's have a nice-ish brush, shall we? That's quite big. Hang on, let me find a slightly smaller one. That's a better size, I think. This is should be, well, it says it's a 10 round, but I don't know if I believe that. But there we are. Right, so let's, I'm keeping this really loose, and I'm not panicking about it. I'm just doing a bit of colour on these. So, and then that will blend out like that. There. Such a pretty colour. Just keeping it loose. I'm keeping it wet at the moment, because I can go back in and be a little bit finer and, you know, refine my painting. So there, get the rest of that paint up. Oh, that's looking nice. Do you know, I don't even know if I've used all of it, all of the colours. I know I've used the pink, and I know I've used the carved pumpkin, but I don't know if I've used the fossilized amber, but that's okay. All right, there we go. I like that. I'm gonna just give that a little wipe, And then I'm going to give this a little dry. And I'm not too worried about, you know, it doesn't have to be in the lines, it doesn't have to be anything. It's just nice and loosely adding the colour. There we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit more detail. So I'm getting some more of that. Yeah, I do need to re-ink my picture raspberry. So I'm going to get I'm going to get a thinner brush. So this is a slightly more, a brush I can do slightly more detail with. There we go, and that's picking up that. I don't want that quite as intense as that is. There we go. So just adding a little bit more definition here and there, and blending out harsh lines as I go. There we go. And there we go on that one as well. Now obviously I'm not gonna spend too much longer doing this, but if I wasn't filming a video, I would faff with this quite a lot because I do like a bit of faffery, and I would add some grey and things like that. But I am aware that we're taking a little bit of time, and I'm also aware that I'm not very good at editing videos, so I am gonna just leave that like that. That's where that's stopping. Oh, that's so hard. That's so hard to just do that, but I'm going to do that because we're nearly at the hour, and I would really like to get this put together for you to see before I go. So, and I think we can probably do it in a relatively short amount of time now. So let me grab some flower shaping tools and a foam mat, and let's do this. All right, so I've got my flower centers. There we are. You should be able to see, yes, you can see that. And this is just a ball tool. Do you know, I don't even know where I got this one from. I've got to be honest, I have no idea. It was a little set. I'll have a look and see if I can see where I got it from. If I can, I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, I might be able to find it somewhere. Okay, so I'm just doing circular motions on these flower centers, and they just work. You know, they're so cleverly designed, aren't they? Look at that. Awesome. So then I'm going to take these. Now, if I had a lot of time, I'd take this smaller stylus and I'd follow all the lines that are embossed in it. That's what I would do if I had lots of time. I don't, so I'm not going to do it on the others, but I just wanted to show you. So I'm just doing sort of vaguely oval motions on each of the leaves, and then I'm going to just go like that in the middle, and there we go. So let's do the next one. So again, vaguely oval shapes. you know, very vaguely. But, oh, look at that. Right, let me get some glue. This is Pink Frog EVA, and I love it. So I'm just going to pop that one on there. Come along now. Behave, please. There we go. Let's just squidge that down a bit like that. And then I'm going to use, hopefully I can find it. Yes, I did tell you I've been reorganising my room, didn't I? Right, there we go. So I'm going to use a spot of this 3D gel on my centre. There we go, get in there. There, so we've got one little fleur. And let's get the rest of these together quickly now for you. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to use all 4 of them, but I'd like to have all 4 to hand just in case. There we go. Come along now. Behave yourself, little petals. And squish him down. And again, there we are. Just doing those vague oval shapes and squishing him down, and then a spot of the EVA to hold the flowers together. And you do need to remember to put the lid on that stuff. It does not like it if you do not put the lid on it. Just going to give that a little twist, because when I squished it, it moved a little bit. Oh, come back now. Be where I want you to be. I might have not. I'm not quite happy with that because it moved, and the EVA's got such a good grab on it. I lost the opportunity to move it, but I think it's okay. It'll be okay. I will live. Right, let me put the lid on this EVA because it dries really quickly. So you do have to put a lid on as soon as you finished. As soon as you finish with it, lid it. Right, glue stuck on my hand. There we go. Right, so I've got these ones to go. Let's get these done, and then we can finally put this page together. So let's do that one. I'm going to just do these quite quickly, and then we can put everything together and see how it looks. And hopefully, well, I think, yes, I've definitely fulfilled the brief of green and pink, so that's good. I wonder what it'll be next month. Hopefully I'll be back next month and do something else. Right, that's the flowers all done. So I'll stick them together. Boo, boo, boo. I think I might sneeze again, sorry. I don't know if it's because the weather is a little bit nicer here. So I don't know if it's some sort of pollen-y thing, but I'm ever so sneezy. Right, I'm not going to be as aggressive with my pushing it together this time. That's better. Because I don't want to get it in the place that I don't want it. There we go. So they're together. That's together. Let's give it a little squish. Now I know that's where I want it to be. There we go. And then these dinky little centres. They are dinky, aren't they? It's an amazing bit of precision, really. I could probably use tweezers for this, really, instead of my sausage hands, but never mind. There, let me get, where's the tweezers? I know they're here somewhere. There we go, let's get the tweezers. Get the tweezers and make life a bit easier. Put a bit of the gel on there. Lovely, 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 lovely. I've just got to give those leaves a little bit of a shape. Let me put the lid on that glue. And again, if you were of a mind, you could use your stylus tool on the embossing lines and really make them stand out. But obviously, you know, time is of the essence, as they say now. So I really want to get this put together for you. So there we go. There's that one. And it just, by doing this, I'm kind of breaking down those fibres in the paper and just making it have a little bit more shape to it. Right, and I'm gonna ink the edges of these. Oops, I'm so sorry. You went for a bit of a tumble there, didn't you? There we go. Sorry, that was me being overzealous with my putting away. I do apologise. So now I'm just inking very gently on those edges, just very gently. Because it just adds a little bit more oomph. And I could do the same on the flowers as well. Just ink very gently on the edges. Let's see, do you want to see what that would look like? Just very, very, very gently, because you don't want anything too much, but it does add a little bit of something. Oh, this flower's going to annoy me so much. It's funny, isn't it, how we notice these things, probably more than anybody else does. Right, okay, last bits now. So we've got our page. Let's put it the right way up. Which way is the right way up? Come on, Rachel. Crosses to the top. And now we can kind of stick everything together, which is exciting. I do want to give this a torn edge, because it was the top of the page, so it's a bit straight and we don't want that. Let's go. I quite like giving things a little rip, you know, so they look like they've had a life. A little rip and a little curl just makes it look a little bit more interesting, doesn't it? So we'll have that. It's going to be there. Let's have a look. That's going to go right. So that's there, and then I've got this lacy panel. Lacy panel I want about there, down a bit. Yeah, about there. Up a bit. Or do I want it the other way around? I don't know if there's any difference really. Okay, so let's get gluing. let's get gluing. Now I should have really put some tape on the back of this lacy panel before I cut it, because that would have made this a lot easier. But it's okay, we will make it work. So that's my lacy panel, and I'm going to pop this on there now. So I've ruffled the edges, and let me just check. Well, yeah, that's cool. Just checking where I was on the page, and then I've got this corner that I really want on there, but I also want to put that about there. What I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to give this an inking, and it will just take away the white of that ripped piece, which is very handy for me. Whoops. See, more haste, less speed. That's the phrase, isn't it? I'm just gonna see where I go with that there. Then I can pop this corner on. And you know, I'm not gonna add glue anywhere else on this corner, because that means then that if you wanted to slip anything else in there, you could, which I think is quite a nice thing to be able to do. There we go. Just need to pop a little bit of weight on that one. And then there was another mushroom, wasn't there? Yes, there is. I'm going to give this one a bit of an inking too, and it just helps. It softens the, you know, it softens the white lines as well when you're cutting out. When you're cutting out collaged items. Right, let's just pop that there a minute, and I need to cut this little guy's arm a little bit so that I can fit that either magnifying glass or net or whatever we're going to make it, but to fit it so it looks like is in his hand, I just need to cut around here gently and carefully so that I can tuck it in there. So now I can tuck it in there. I'm going to cut across the bottom of that one in a minute. Let me ink this up, this little chap or chapette, who knows. Can be whoever you want it to be. Let's just ink. There we go. Now I need some glue. And before I glue him down, but only because this glue is just so good, I'm gonna get this piece ready to get in there as well, because otherwise I'm gonna end up not being able to slide it in, because it's amazing stuff, this glue. Right, there we are. That's him. Right, where's the page? Is need to come back a little smidge. Oh, please let me move. There we go. There, everything is in place. We love that. And then I'm going to come behind to trim that mushroom off there. So he's in place. We like that. We need to stick this in place. And I'm going to give that a little bit of an inking as well. And we'll stick this one in place. And I also am going to want to put a cog under here as well. I'm going to cut this because I don't want to waste. A whole cog to just have a bit poking out. I hope that makes sense. I think it should. There we go. I'm going to stick that on there now. Oh, I like how this is coming together. That's bugging me because I wish I could have spent a little bit more time painting it, but what are you going to do? Let me put the lid on that glue. Right, so now we want to stick these down. So I'm using my 3D glue gel for this. Oops, there we go. That'll be nice there. Let's take that flower and we'll put that one there. And then we want more leaves. Oh, behave yourself, little leaf. There. I think I want that in a bit more. Have I got anywhere that I can put that in? I'm going to put some of the EVA. Oh no, I wanted my hinge. Where's my hinge? I want that in there as well, don't I? How is that going to work? It's not going to work there. I really wanted to put this in here, so I am going to faff around until I can get it in there. Yeah, that will slide in there. Phew. Okay. That makes me happy because I love these hinges and I don't like missing an opportunity to pop one somewhere. Be careful with that placement. There we go. So that's there, and now I'm going to put some little dots. I'm going to remove that wheel there. And where's my lid? There it is. Oh, come on now. There we go. It's not even one of those things that I can put to one side and come back and do, because I know it'll go to a bad place. So, hey ho. It's amazing glue. And the precision tip is good as well. Right, let's put another one. I do kind of like looking at you know, the direction of my screw heads. I do bear that in mind when I'm sticking them on. I don't know if that means I've got too much time on my hands or what, but it's, you know, it's something that is important to me. So right, so that glue has come off of there. That's naughty. We'll put, yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to glue this one down, and then we'll get the rest of the flowers on, and then I think we are all but done. Could do with some wordage actually. I will get some wordage because that's not too tricky to do, because our David has done some very good journal words. They're really cool, so I'll get them in a minute and we can stick them on. Let's get these flowers in place first. Is that one? And then we'll have that leaf there, and this little one here. And do we need, we might do, let me stick those in place. I don't think I'm going to need the other flower, but I am going to stick this leaf in there. Oh, I'm going to the wire with this glue gel. There we go. And is that one stuck? I can't remember. Yes, it is. It is stuck. Okay, let's get these cogs done, and I'll grab the words, and then we're done. And I hope you've enjoyed it, because I have. Let's do that one there, and we'll do this one here. A bit more glue. Just tucking that one under the leaf a little bit. Just a little bit. There we are. So we've got that, we've got that. Now I did want to put a little bit of net on him, and I also want words. Right, well I know where the words are, so let's get the words. The net, unfortunately, is a slightly different matter. Oh, it's not, I've got it. Yay. I thought I was prepared. Right, is that gonna be too much? What do you think? I think it kind of works. I don't know. Right, let's find the words. If not now, when? That's quite cool. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Stay curious. That is perfect. I'm not sure if that's a good idea or not. I don't know. I think I'm not gonna do it, just because I don't want to make a rash decision now and regret it later, isn't it? There's a saying, isn't there? something in haste and respond in something. But I think that is quite nice. I know it's only little, but I think it's the right, I feel like it's the right wordage for this. I wonder if it fits on here. No, not really. No. Okay. Yes, I need to stick that on. Let's stop faffing and stick. That's the important thing, isn't it? And also I'm going to stick I've got a rusty paper clip that I rather like, so I'm going to stick that on there because I think that's just the right place for it. And we'll do this with some glue gel, and then we're done. It's happened, it's done. So I'm sorry if I was a little longer, but I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe, please like, because all of those things really help me. And like I said, I will put a list in the description, and I'll also put the link and the discount code in the description for you too. And don't forget to go and check out all the other videos for the YouTube hop this month and see what everybody else has made of the pink and green theme. So thank you, thanks, bye bye.